The sun shines brightly through the window and splashes on my face, forcing me awake. Leanna and Amelia are both already awake, but Zach still has his head down as if he's still asleep. I look outside and squint at the sky. What time is it?
It's already past noon.
Wow.
We slept through the entire morning.
We did? Leanna giggles at my alarm.
Normally that would be a bad thing, but in this case it's okay. We're almost at Bazada.
I thought it was Bazada! Was it Bazada this whole time, or is she messing up her pronunciations again? I don't remember. I'm not used to Bazada as a pronunciation or as a place, because it's imaginary. Also, I almost feel like just their natural, clocks, internal systems, would wake them up earlier. I mean, were we staying up that late, at least in comparison to normal? I don't know, I mean, I feel like if you're used to waking up at 5 in the morning, you're probably going to wake up at 5 in the morning again. Granted, you can always fall back asleep afterward, but I don't know. I nod. And then I black out. Zach gradually wakes up, and we all make sure we have all of our things. After another hour or two, the train stops and announces our arrival to Bazada. The sun hangs high in the sky as one by one we step off the train. As soon as I set foot in the city, I'm assaulted by the sound of voices. Makeshift stalls line the sides of roads and alleys as people pack the streets. Traders entice onlookers to view their wares and customers haggle in heated shouting matches. Are we going to have to travel through that? I'm not familiar with blanch. I blanch at the thought of getting trapped amidst a sea of people, like sardines in a can.
We have arrived in Bazada.
Okay, so... Wait, you say Bazada! She said Bazada, didn't she? Wait, crap, what did she say? Did she say Bazada? Was I the only one thinking Bazada? What was I thinking about? I don't even remember. I don't remember the slightest. Whatever. This is where we'll find Ember Mist? No, Riz, weren't you listening? This is just the nearest station to Ember Mist.
No, as I said, it is the closest city to Ember Mist.
Riz, you dumb prick. Considering the bustle of this place, I find it a little hard to believe that the hidden city is so close. No wonder Leanna seems so surprised. Amelia seems to read my thoughts.
Of course, close is a relative term. We must first traverse some rough terrain and pass through the forest before we find Ember Mist.
Right. She points towards the south where I can make out the tips of treetops, and then she glances up at the sky.
Considering only a few hours remain before nightfall, it may be in our best interest to spend the evening here in the city and depart in the morning.
Okay, Leanna nods.
Good thinking. This marketplace is so huge. People say you can literally buy your heart's desires here.
Oh, really? But not like possessive hearts, right? Like just hearts, plural? I'm pretty sure that's what people say, yeah. Is there something you're thinking of buying?
Nothing in particular, but I would like to check out the stalls. Traders from all over the world gather here to sell their wares.
Hey, wait, and if I won cheat, does that mean I have money now? Could I buy stuff? Hey, I probably don't. I don't know. I glance down at my feet and watch the Pongo wiggle excitedly. He casts hungry looks into the crowd. Is there a lot of magic here? I haven't seen this guy so excited since he first tried to eat me. Amelia bends down and scrutinizes him. She pokes him with a finger and the Pongo giggles.
Hi, boy!
I'm going to the inn. I'll meet up with you later.
I don't think it was intentional, but he still sounded like a little miffed there. Before any of us can react, Zach slips into the crowd. Should we go after him? Amelia doesn't even blink at Zach's departure. She's too preoccupied with the Pongo. Leanna shakes her head.
No, but since Zach left, I'm going to go too. Should we meet back up at the inn?
Sure. She nods and heads into the crowd. Since everyone else seems to know what they want to do, what do I want to do? Wait, what does Amelia want to do? Yeah. Go shopping with Leanna, see what Amelia's up to, check on Zach, be a loner. Well, I mean, Amelia's with my Pongo right now. I mean, she's right there. It would be rude for me to just be like, well, see ya, and just walk off. So I'm going to ask what she's, yeah. I'm going to ask. I decide to seek out Amelia, who should have been, like, right there. I stand by awkwardly while Amelia mutters to herself. She seems to be in the middle of something and doesn't notice my presence.
Male, adolescent, of the cerulean variant.
Yeah, that's fair. She holds out her bracelet. The Pongo blinks at it, then looks back at her. Amelia cocks her head to the side as she observes him. With Amelia's attention still on him, the Pongo scoots closer to the bracelet and looks at her again.
Go on.
He cautiously sniffs at the bracelet, then sticks a tongue out to lick the air. Afterwards, he grins widely at Amelia.
Boy? Interesting. Normally, a cerulean pongo will leave out even the slightest trace of magical residue.
Oh, cerulean pongos are a bit desperate, aren't they? Thirsty little balls. Amelia doesn't have a chance to finish as the pongo springs into her arms.
Boy!
She fumbles the catch and pulls the pongo close to her chest to stabilize him.
What do you think you're...
Her voice trails off as she looks down at the still smiling pongo.
Boy?
Amelia blinks as the caution melts away from her face. The corners of her mouth curl up in a smile and she squeezes the pongo in a cuddle. Aww.
Boy!
The pongo wheezes as he's squished against her chest. Aw, so cute. Join in. Should I be watching? Yeah, just the first one. Aw, you do like him. Amelia gasps and drops her arms, letting the pongo tumble to the ground, poor thing.
Boy! I was merely conducting analysis. Boy!
The pongo hops back into her arms and snuggles against her. Amelia's cheeks tinge pink. She clears her throat.
Regardless, I am going to the apothecary.
Okay. Apothecary? Can't we just heal with magic?
Yes, there are mages who specialize in healing magic, but they use earth magic which neither Leanna nor I possess.
I see.
As such, you will need to purchase healing items to treat a wound.
That's fair. Makes sense to me. Would you like me to go with you?
No, it will be faster if I go alone.
That's probably true. Before I even have a chance to react, she turns on her heel and walks away. With my pongo? Okay. As she goes, the pongo pops his face over her shoulder and gazes longingly at me.
Boy.
A single tear rolls down his cheek. Aww! Pongo! I reach out for him as the distance between us grows. Wait a minute. Why is he making that face? He could literally leave at any time and just come back to me. Come back! He turns around and disappears from my view. That sneaky little pongo. Go shopping with Leanna, check on Zach, be a loner. Is this gonna be one of those things again where I don't actually have to make a choice and it just lets me do, like, everything, pretty much? I mean, cause I guess, like... So I think in-game me would want to look around, but I also would not want to be taken advantage of. And so I think it'd be better if I looked around with Leanna. So I'm gonna go with her, because I feel like if any of them is going to be the one that like ends my decision making, it'll either be checking on Zach or being a loner. And just especially checking on Zach. But between these two, again, I think being a loner is just more risky. So we're gonna go find Leanna. I head in the same direction I think Leanna's gone, and duck into the crowd, trying not to bump into too many people as I explore the marketplace. I've never seen a place this crowded before. It doesn't feel like I'm walking so much as being pushed by everyone. Despite all the people, I'm fascinated by the market stalls. Merchants sell all different types of merchandise, ranging from clay pottery to magic amulets. As I'm being pulled through the crowd, I see a glimpse of blonde hair and white armor. That must be Leanna. I wade through the crowd and see Leanna frozen in place. Hey, Leanna. She blinks at me.
Hey!
How's the marketplace so far?
Really interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff I haven't seen before.
Is that why you're frozen in place? She seems distracted.
Do you smell that?
I breathe in deeply. Smells fruity and sweet. Smells silent, but smell what? I guess I'll go with this one. An overwhelmingly sweet smell wafts by on the breeze. There's really no way I couldn't.
I think it's coming from that stall over there. Come on!
She darts back into the crowd and I quickly follow until we stop at a stall filled with delicate glass bottles. Is this perfume?
Yes, welcome, welcome.
Yes. A tanned man in silken robes ushers us closer to the stall. He selects a glass bottle filled with a pale pink liquid and offers it to Leanna.
A noble scent to match such a noble woman.
I feel like this guy's he just sounds like a con man to me, but I think that's just because of the voice actor. Leanna blushes and delicately sniffs the bottle, her eyes widen in recognition.
Is that extract of spirit orchid?
The man grins broadly and clasps his hands together.
Yes, yes, very rare, from the far celestial mountains.
I don't even know what accent he's going for.
I never expected to find this perfume here.
What is it? Leanna offers me the bottle and I take a tentative whiff. It smells fruity, like a cross between an apple and a pear. This is a flower? She nods.
The spirit orchid. It only grows in the deep forest of the Celestial Mountain Range.
Ah, yes. Why is it called the spirit orchid?
The roots are a very pale white. And when it grows, it almost looks like it's floating midair, like a spirit.
Oh, cool. That's kind of neat. She nods absentmindedly and continues to hold the bottle. Do you want to get it? Leanna quickly shakes her head.
Oh, sorry. It just reminds me of home.
Man, this merchant's so disappointed right now.
My grandmother used to wear this perfume whenever she left the house. When I was little, that meant taking me down to the market.
Ah. She smiles fondly at the memory, but her eyes hold a hint of sadness.
I loved wandering the shops and stalls. It didn't matter if I had nothing to buy. It was a chance to leave the house and be like everyone else.
I see. Sounds like you didn't get to go out much.
It was complicated.
She doesn't offer up any more information and returns the bottle to a blank spot on the shelf. Although she's been very helpful in helping me understand this world, Leanna doesn't talk about her past much. I glance at her again. She looks pensively at the bottle, a small crease in her brow. Suddenly, a new scent cuts through the floral perfumes. It smells of cinnamon and spice. Cookies! Hey, Leanna, do you smell that? She jolts out of her thoughts and blinks.
Smell what?
I think it's coming from the stall over there. I grin, and just as she did before, I dart back into the street.
Hey, wait!
And Merchant Man said nothing of that. We weave through the people before stopping in front of a stall filled with an assortment of baked goods. I breathe in the heavenly sweetness of sugar and sigh contentedly. Leanna closes her eyes and inhales.
It smells so delicious!
That's right, it does. I browse the array of cookies and tiny cakes. Leanna gasps.
They have cinnamon parfaits. I love those.
What are those? What do you mean, what are those?
They're cinnamon and vanilla custard layers with apricots. What do you think looks good?
I'll try the cinnamon parfaits. Cupcakes! I don't like sweets. Why would I come over here if I didn't like sweets? I guess if I like the smells. But still. I mean, she loves these, so let's try them. Why not, right? Actually, that cinnamon parfait you mentioned sounds really good.
They are. And they're not super sweet either, which is why I like them.
I fish in my pocket for my winnings from yesterday. Yes, that is the case. Today's treats are on me, assuming I can afford them with coins. Leanna looks amused.
Are you sure you want to use your life savings?
I chuckle. Don't worry. You've been very generous towards me ever since Meadow Hill. This is the least I can do to repay you. I know it's not much, but please consider this as a token of my appreciation. Leanna smiles bashfully.
Thank you.
I grin, then pay for a cinnamon parfait for Leanna and a dessert for myself. But I also wanted a cinnamon parfait. Cheers. I guess maybe I got one. I hold up my nameless dessert and take a bite. As the sweetness melts on my tongue, I let out a contented sigh. This is even better than I imagined. Leanna giggles and lets out an equally happy sigh as she bites into her cinnamon parfait.
This is why I love markets.
I nod in agreement as we return to the street. One of the guards on the marketplace notices Leanna's Mage Guild emblem and pulls her over to talk.
Sorry, I need to take this.
Since this looks like official business, I better leave them be. We can catch up later then? She smiles.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it to be a question. I guess I'll... Crap. Again, I feel like check on Zach would be like the last thing since we were supposed to meet at the inn. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that logic and I'm gonna be a loner. I'm ready for a little bit of me time. I head into the crowds and appreciate all the marketplace has to offer. After exploring the city, I meet up with the rest of the group back at the inn. Ah, balls! Alright, tensions are high. I didn't mean to just, like, snub Zach. I just thought that I would be, like, I'd have my own little marketplace adventure, and then we'd go back and I could, like, meet up, but... I guess we're just immediately here. Sorry, Zach, I didn't mean to. Tensions are high as we eat in silence. I think everyone is a mixture of weariness and anxiety for the next leg of our journey. Even the Pongo was strangely silent and obedient. Once we finish eating, we head upstairs to find our rooms. Upon finding her room, Leanna suddenly perks up.
Oh, Amelia, you and I will be sharing a room tonight.
Amelia speaks dismissively.
Naturally, that would be more appropriate than the alternative.
Yes, agreed. She pauses, then looks at Leanna with interest.
Are you insinuating that you would rather share a bedroom with them?
When would she have been insinuating that, Amelia? You're just bringing this up out of nowhere, it seems. You just want to cause drama, don't you? Amelia points to Zack and me.
What? No! Of course not!
Oh, my mistake. Of course you could not have met both of them. There aren't nearly enough beds.
No, there aren't.
You must have meant him.
Amelia points to me. I mean, out of the two of us, me and Zack, probably. Leanna's face turns pink and she shakes her head.
Amelia! That's not true!
Hey, you could, be just, a little bit less aggressive about
If that
that.
was false, then why is your face red?
The point is, I'd obviously rather share a room with you.
Again, where did Amelia get anything otherwise? She was just saying, hey, by the way, I'm sharing my room with you. And then Amelia's like, oh, you would rather share with them, wouldn't you? Oh, not both of them, sorry, just that dude. The attractive one. Amelia blinks.
If that is the case, then why even bring it up?
You brought it up!
Because I'm excited. It'll be nice to have some girl time.
Weirdo. Amelia studies Leanna, then nods.
I concur. Sharing a room has proven to strengthen bonds amidst peers and foster camaraderie.
You
I see.
mean make friends?
Precisely.
Leanna grins and Amelia smiles back.
Poi?
We all glance down at the Pongo by our feet. Is it my imagination, or is he trying to ask us which room is he going to sleep in tonight? Amelia snatches him up in her arms.
The Pongo needs to spend the night with us tonight. We need him for science.
Oof, okay, when you put it like that, then it's weird. As Amelia slips into their bedroom, Leanna nods rapidly.
Yes, for science.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to go those places, then follows Amelia into the room and slams the door shut. I mean, it's just for science, guys. They're just gonna experiment a little. There's a moment of silence as Zack and I stare at the closed door.
Is it just me, or did that seem unusually suspicious to you?
Is the Pongo really that special? Use me instead! Definitely suspicious, but I'm not even sure why. Still baffled by what happened, Zack and I enter our room and get ready for bed. Yay! Although the train was more comfortable than I expected, it cannot compare to a real bed. As I snuggle into the blankets, I soon drift into a restful slumber. Yay, more bedtime! Woo! Zack and I awaken at dawn and silently go about preparing for the day. As I grab a few items off my bed, I look over at Zack, who is fiddling with his gun. That guy sure gives his discharger a lot of attention. Morning. He glances up and nods.
I'm heading down. Meet me there when you're ready.
Sure. Zack shoulders his pack and leaves. This is probably the quietest morning I've had so far. It's a little strange. I pack up the last of my things and follow Zack downstairs where I find him waiting alone. Where are Leanna and Amelia? He shrugs.
Still getting ready, I guess.
Okay. That's unusual. Leanna is generally the first one up. We wait a couple more minutes before the girls finally show up, carrying the Pongo with them. Amelia smiles widely at the Pongo, who grins back. Those two seem to be a good mood. Leanna, on the other hand, looks exhausted. Good morning. What were they doing last night? Gang's all here, let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Leanna smiles.
Morning.
Oh, now she seems all perky. The Pongo wobbles in Amelia's arms as she nods her greeting.
We should move on so we don't lose any daylight.
It's weird when the game just suddenly loads again and everyone's hair and breasts just kind of move all of a sudden. And also, I thought she was the one who was supposed to look all happy, and I thought Leanna was the exhausted one. Did I misread that? Because Leanna seemed happier. We should move on so we don't lose any daylight, right? Zack looks over at Amelia, who rummages through her bag. Eventually, she pulls out a map. I glance at the carefully detailed mountains and rivers. Suddenly, I'm missing my GPS. I feel that.
We will proceed eastward through the forest adjacent to Bazada. From there, we will travel northbound towards the Sonoa Mountains.
You know, it was Bazada. It was always Bazada because it made me think of Bazinga. So it was always Bazada. It was never Bazada. And I think that everyone has said Bazada so far. I think Leanna just threw me off when she said it that one time. That may have been in a previous video by this point, but I think it was always Bazada. Okay, northbound towards the Sonoa Mountains. I missed her say that. Her finger scrolls across the different locations.
Assuming there are no divergences in the course, we should arrive in Ember Mist by midday.
By midday?
Any inquiries?
On foot? Really? I thought you said that it was close was a relative term. Midday's awesome. That means we're just like walking for 5 hours. That's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to walk for 5 hours, but like if we're looking for a hidden city, that's not bad. Amelia folds the map and glances at the rest of us. We all look at each other.
Then let us begin our journey.
I'm starting to get that tickle in my throat, you know? She leads the way out of the inn and through the streets of Bazada. Even this early in the morning, the marketplace is still bustling with people. Carefully traversing the streets and alleys, the crowd begins to thin as we reach the city borders. Uh-oh. Is the crowd carefully traversing the streets and alleys, or are we carefully traversing the streets and alleys? Because the way they have it put, it looks like the crowd is carefully traversing. Just saying English. Amelia consults her map, then continues out of the city. Without the high cover of the stalls, I blink at the clear blue sky. In the distance, I can see the dark leafy cover of trees. That must be where we're going. Once we reach the forest, I'm surprised by how much shade the leaves provide. The branches are strong and the leaves are thick, exposing pockets of sunshine. Amelia keeps the map on hand as there are no trails. Aside from a few other stragglers exploring the woods, I can hear the scurry of woodland animals. With so much cover and so few people, this would be the perfect opportunity for a bandit ambush. I was saying that like a lot happier than I think it was intended. I look towards Zach and Leanna, who both seem unconcerned. I suppose it wouldn't make sense for bandits to hide out in a forest which is mostly devoid of people. We aren't carrying any cargo either, so there's even less of a reason to attack us. Unless they just recognize Zach and want his bounty again. The deeper we travel into the woods, the thicker the canopy of leaves become, nearly blocking out all the sunlight. Did the music just go away? I think it did. All the other people have long gone, and even the rustle of bushes have become quiet. Uh-oh. Why is Pongo scared? The Pongo nestles even deeper into Amelia's arms. Leanna shivers and wraps her arms around herself in a hug. I want to check on her. You okay? She seems startled and drops her arms, trying to act normal.
I'm fine.
I know exactly what I'm fine means, and I'm gonna go with that. Because I feel like if she's concerned, and Pongo's concerned, maybe I have reason to be concerned. And I just want to be sure about that. Yes, this is largely coming from a selfish place. Where I come from, when a girl uses those two words together, it means she is not fine. Leanna blinks and lets out a small laugh.
It's nothing really. It's just that the woods are getting darker and darker, and there's a lot more shadows.
Are you afraid of the dark? Leanna shakes her head.
Nothing like that. But really, you don't have to be concerned. It's nothing.
What is it then? I'm curious now. I'm still not convinced, but I'll trust her. Okay. And then it just loads for a sec. We're good. The forest continues to block out even more light. Soon it becomes so dark we can barely see what's in front of us.
Are you sure we're going the right way?
Amelia pulls the torch out of her bag in response. She touches her fingers to the tip of the torch and her bracelet glows. Then the torch erupts into flames.
Indeed, there is no need for alarm.
Wow, look at the trees now.
Darkness merely indicates we're about to enter the Forest of Sorrows.
Oh, don't worry, guys. The dark just means that we're about to enter the Forest of Sorrows.
Forest of Sorrows?
I'm surprised by Leanna's outburst. Her face is deathly pale.
Do we have to go through here? There must be an alternate route.
Amelia shakes her head.
Ember Mist can only be accessed through these woods.
Okay. I was thinking like, man, Ember Mist is a douche. Leanna groans.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
So this is what was bothering her. What's up with the Forest of Sorrows? I mean, it sounds spooky enough, but is it really that bad?
It is rumored that those who venture into the Forest of Sorrows never come out.
Oh. They never come out? She nods.
The reason people are unable to escape is because they hear the voices of the loved ones they have lost. They fruitlessly search for their loved ones, losing their way, chasing the wailing of the spectrals.
Well, maybe if you're aware of that and you go into the forest, you should just kind of try to ignore that. I mean, I get that that's hard. Thankfully, I've never had to go through anything in my life yet, you know. Nothing like that, I mean. But, again, I feel like if you're aware that that's what the forest does, you know, like, don't go in if you're not confident that you can, like, keep powering through.
No! Amelia, stop! We can travel through this stupid place if we have to, but no more of this story stuff that isn't true and can't be true, so it's not true.
Oh, shoot, is she gonna hear her grandma? I don't want her to hear her grandma. Although Leanna tries to put on a brave front, her voice grows shriller the longer she talks. Right. Amelia nods.
Then let us continue.
I turn to Zach. Do you think all that stuff about the Forest of Sorrows is possible?
It doesn't matter if I think it's possible, because it's the truth.
So you do think it's possible then? Because if you believe it's the truth, that kind of comes with it.
Zach! Stop!
As Leanna turns away, Zach cracks a fleeting smile before resuming his stony stare. Also, I have to point out that there's magic in this game. Absolutely, it's possible that there could be voices calling out from the forest. Right? Doesn't that just kind of come with the territory? The trees have now lost their cozy feel completely and look thick, old, and withered. The eerie silence is deafening, and each crunch of leaves beneath our feet reminds me of the inevitability of death and decay. I keep seeing flashes of beady eyes peering amid the branches. The squawk of crows pierces the silence, making me jump. Instinctively, I pick up the pace, as does everyone else. Leanna grows increasingly agitated.
Are you sure we're going the right way? I swear that I've seen that.
A cold gust of wind extinguishes the torch. Oh no! I was like, oh no, she latched onto a headless body! Leanna latches onto my arm and pulls it close to her chest. Her eyes are squeezed shut and she buries her face against me. The light returns as Amelia relights the torch. Thank you, Amelia. Leanna peeps an eye open and glances down at my arm. I'm pretty buff. Can I just say that? Like, that me is not me. And where it rests on her chest. Her cheeks burn as hot as a torch and she quickly drops my arm.
Sorry,
She trails off as her blush deepens. I bet her nerves from the forest and the awkwardness of grabbing me is making her flustered. She might be more comfortable holding on to me, but that's an equally awkward suggestion. Ask if she wants to grab my arm, pull her in close, whatever. She let go, let's just move on. I'll ask, I'll be like, you can if you want, I don't mind. You can hold on if you want. Leanna almost seems grateful for the offer, but then notices Zach and Amelia.
no, it's okay. The light going out just caught me off guard.
That's alright. I mean, I believe her. I believe it did just catch her off guard. Are you sure? She nods. Okay. Well, she seems more confident now, if nothing. Oh, she disappeared! Leanna! Zach waits impatiently a few paces ahead of us.
Can we move on?
Affirmative.
We all hurry to catch up with Zach and continue through the forest. No wonder people get lost. This place feels like it's endless. Gradually, the darkness fades away as the trees are illuminated by an ethereal glow. As the blue and green light chases away the shadows, my mood begins to lift. The trees still look ancient, but full of wisdom and secrets instead of bad omens. You know, that Forest of Sorrows really wasn't that bad. I didn't hear a single voice. And like, nothing happened. The only thing that happened was the wind blew the torch out once, and I guess, like, crows cawed, if you want to count that. But it was pretty chill, all things considered. The Pongo squirms wildly in Amelia's arm. He wiggles free and hops around in glee. As he hops, he opens his mouth wide, but loses his balance and blinks as he falls on his head.
Boy?
After a few more confused seconds, he shakes himself and tries again. There must be a lot of magic in here.
We have made it through the Forest of Sorrows.
Heck yes! Leanna sighs in relief.
Finally.
So Ember Mist is close.
A natural concentration of crystal energy would indicate we are on the correct path.
That's good. Ah, the crystals must be what the blue and green glow is from.
What do you mean, on the correct path? Haven't you traveled here before?
Amelia shakes her head.
No, this is my first journey.
You mean you had us travel through the Forest of Sorrows without knowing for sure that it would lead us to Ember Mist?
I didn't think Amelia had been there before. Did you guys think Amelia had been there before? Sorry, Leanna. I feel like you're the odd one out here.
That is correct.
Leanna gapes at Amelia.
Well, we did make it through. And if we do reach Ember Mist, then she would have delivered on her promise.
Yeah. Zack nods at Amelia, who looks curiously at him. While deep in thought, it looks like she's reworking a previous analysis of him. Then she nods back. Leanna opens her mouth to argue, but stops.
I suppose it doesn't matter now that we're almost there.
On that conclusion, let us continue.
Alright. We trail behind Amelia, the Pongo blissfully hopping along as she navigates us out of the rest of the forest. Ember Mist lies just beyond the edge of the forest, and soon we approach the heavy gates of the city. Just like that? Is this really it? Is this Ember Mist? Cue outro, go!